something where you don't have to worry about Sunder because you just orbital bombard this guy into oblivion. It's good in this matchup. I also feel like we did not see that Ags Luna build win as much as it should have. Like, you have to play well around it. That build, I think, works when you are playing really fast and you can take advantage of the 15 talent with the Eclipse cooldown. Right, you get 70-second cooldown on Eclipse at level 15, and then you put this Ags to work around the map. You should be killing someone every minute, basically. Like, that is when that build feels good. If you are just getting Ags and you're using this ult every 3 or 4 minutes, to me, it's not good enough to justify going Ags. So you really have to understand how to use this spell around the map and play very active with the Luna and be a threat on the lanes. Like, you have to put the enemy in a position where they're afraid to show on lanes and afraid to farm areas because I'm going to get eclipsed and I'm just going to die.
And that build, we saw it most, in fact, I think the only team I saw it from was from Liquid when they were playing last Dream League with V-Tune. Right? V-Tune, I guess, having a bit of Luna experience. This hero and showed us the Aghanim build. And sometimes it looked good, but as you said, it did not win as much as they were everything, but didn't actually close out the game.
How much of that was based on the Luna and how much of that was based on Liquid being in a Dream League, you know? I wouldn't read too much. Like, I would not evaluate the strength of that build based on those games. That's how I'd put it. If anything, that build might be really good because they actually won some games, so... you know, if Liquid's winning in Dream League, then they must be playing some ultra broken shit. That's one way to look at it.
All right, lane matchups here. Timbersaw versus Storm Spirit. The bottom lane matchup of Terrorblade Warlock versus Doom Shadow Shaman. So that lane's going. A lot of damage coming out from that too. And Rubik Angelier versus Freon Luna. Which Luna, anytime she's paired up with another range support, probably could feel pretty decent.
Not as much Lunar Blessing damage as it used to be. So I feel like the Luna dual lanes aren't as strong as they have been in previous metas. But it's still pretty damn strong if you can run people down with the beams and stuff. And of course, you're going to have Sprout off cooldown here. You should win this lane with the Sprouts over time into the Rubik. Like, I would not be afraid of dominating this lane as Luna Furion for sure. I think the Storm
just teared it up a bit.
Oh yeah.
Nico just got double tonight. Squadix is 18-3.
Yeah, he's owning. And we saw him own those games yesterday too with the puck. So this is a scary player to give a good start to on these mobile high damage mids. It's just a deadly combination. You really have to watch out for this. This is also why I was like, okay, can we get something to address the Storm? Because it's not just that the Storm pick was pretty good. It's a Storm for Squadix. This is basically his signature hero in line with that puck to me. I mean, he's level 30 on it, super experienced. It fits his playstyle exactly. This is a scary player hero combination to give in that slot as Kasane, man, he was not winning these trades like that. He just overextended.
As a result, giving up the first blood, so the offlaner also gives up Science. Courier. Or not. Kasane opting for damage over Courier. Does manage to get off a little half.
I will say the nerfs, some of the nerfs to Furion over time have really added up. Particularly this hero's base damage early on. Like, as a support, it feels pretty bad now. Even with some extra Lunar Blessing, it's like really dependent on being around a lot of trees. And even when you are, it's the level 1's pretty pitiful.
Yeah,
so you just got out traded.
To just challenge. They get level 3 early on PMA, and it's heavy damage on Monkey.
Like, so that's just straight out traded Kasane in terms of right clicks, because this Furion's sitting at 48 base damage level 1. It's pretty pitiful. Of course, you're getting bonus, but the bonus is a % bonus, so it's really rough when this level 1 and 2. You really have to take advantage of just the Sprout spam and not get all in like that. So that's a super valued first blood here. Or one dub, or Navi Jr., sorry, as they get on the board. Overall, though, the lane's going decent here for Navi Jr. in terms of the core CS. Like, they're all doing quite fine. outside of this mid differential, I guess you could look at and say that 8 denies on Squad X. Pretty solid start for him on the Storm.
Yeah. Well, that just means the 6-minute power rune play is going to be all the more important for Navi Jr. to try and shut down that Gritty's guard to come over and try and help out. Parablade can't get punished. Does look like if they want to, Triple S could just pull this creep wave under tower and they could really make it go on God. Probably kill him, but at least do some decent damage.
Definitely mess him up here. They know this Warlock's off the lane? Yeah, they do. They had this ward in the river.
Yeah.
So I'd be highly surprised if they don't just dive under here and at least get the full Scorched Earth damage. Shock him, Scorched Earth him. He can definitely die. You have Frost attack from the Ghost creep too. Not the worst early creep for the Doom. Not the Harpy,
it's
but
interesting.
It's pretty solid.
Probably because he's against Warlock, right? That he didn't choose the typical 0-2-1 with the Infernal Blade. Like Warlock was just going to out-heal and grab some damage. Like, in this situation, they don't do so top. So he is really focused on the next block.
Hard to blame these Doom players when this hero can just get so fat so fast, but I do feel like there were some windows to pressure this Terrorblade a bit. Like, Doom is strong in this matchup. You have some decent armor early, a lot of HP to work with. Scorched Earth really hurts this Terrorblade. It's low HP pool. Warlock Sustain dissuades these kind of chip plays a bit, but like we said, when he was off the lane, pretty tempting there. Putting in work. He's keeping him pretty low too, which is pretty valuable here because you do have to think about this 6-minute power rune coming up in a minute, what your resources look like for that, and these supports rotating, right? Furion can easily join one of these plays, so if this Timber's low enough, he can just get all in.
The bottom play.
Oh, there's that play too, yeah.
The Juice blocking him out a little bit with the Sprout. And that's a pretty, honestly, a deadly duo there. Doom level 4 with the Frost attack and Infernal Blade. You're just not going anywhere. He opts now to take Chain Lightning because you should always take Chain Lightning if it's available to you.
Wow, what a value pickup. I mean, this small camp has done work for Triple S down here. Try and make a return play on Mankushi.
And we'll be able to get it.
Oh, that was pretty easy. That said,
it was.
Pressure
They're
going
going to stick
in
around, though, in this bottom lane. I like the fact that it's just like, okay, don't give up the pressure that you put on this bottom lane.
Is the trade-off worth it, though?
It's definitely worth it if Squad X now comes down here with an Arcane Rune. I mean, Got the Juice is just... He's not ready to neutral just yet, but he's going to have to.
I think it's Terrorblade's getting more than the Luna, though. That's the issue. And Mankushi can't even stand top. He's going to go bottom as well. You're basically just trading carry strength for offlaner strength right now. And so it comes down to, you know, are you happier having the stronger Doom versus the stronger Pangolier? And I think a lot of teams would probably take the stronger Doom. Just a powerhouse of a hero.
Terrorblade is going to take advantage out of it, at least. Because they can come back and defend their own tower pretty easily.
Will they, though? No one's doing it.
Well, they come through the gate.
I mean, it's going to take a little more than this, I think. This Luna does not want to show in the lane level 4. You don't know where the Timber is. He's been off map for a bit. He shows they don't punish it. I mean, there's like 4 heroes lingering up on this upper half of the map. But Miku did not want to fight up there because he's losing his own tower mid.
Arcane Root does get popped here from Squad X, so expect him to put some pressure on this mid lane. Chip away at that mid tower just a little bit more. He's almost got it down. Meanwhile, the side lanes do have to be careful as level 6s are coming in for the off laners. The bigger one is definitely going to be PMA hitting his level 6. If they can actually take a successful team fight in this top lane, they can even out the tower advantage. Doom being level 6 probably won't matter because Got the Juice is just not going to be showing in lane at all.
That is very true. You're not going to see his Terrorblade for a while. Just Illusion's clearing the waves. He'll be in the jungle. Probably same for Monkuchi at a certain point. Particularly if you can get some stacks going from the rest of the lineup. And a big regen rune claimed by the Timber there, taking it away from Squad X. Super nice. That would have been a powerhouse of a rune for the Storm. Really wants this mid tower. You would love to make a move on this mid tower while this Timber Saw is jungling. You do not want to let the Rubik just sit here and soak up XP for free when your Storm is this strong, but needs help to make the play. And no one's right there right now. Still missing the level 6 on the Furion.
No.
Somebody is going to make a move on this bit. Like, that's where the action is going to happen to me.
Yeah, it's pretty easily. He's pushing his so much that he can just collapse on the mid.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like, use the Doom, you have ice armor, you can dive. You can bring the Furion into that fight super easily. Maybe you're waiting for this Wrath of Nature, but it's going to be a little bit. I guess you also are concerned about the Pangolier turnaround on these dive plays. I think you can execute it. Like, it's not impossible to go behind a tier 1 here.
Yeah.
See when they opt to make this move. Could wait for a 10-minute power run as well. Try and get something for this Storm to make the aggressive go more reliable. But we can see Navi Jr. It feels like they're waiting for this move. Like, they have sat their supports mid for quite some time now. And Wrath of Nature is now available. Furion just sat top, got solo XP. That's a big spell to have for this 10-minute power rune. That's a good timing.
Squad X not quite seeing an opening there. Bottom. They look to chase down more. Are you willing to throw out the Doom? They are, with the Furion teleporting in, but they immediately called a back on that one, and a good call probably just because they saw PMA teleporting in, didn't want to deal with the Rolling Thunder, and that little choke point probably would have been dangerous.
An okay move. If you'd held the Doom, I think you're happier with that outcome, getting the Pango TP, because now you could have remade the same play. Like, that would have been the big advantage of that. Instead, because you threw the Doom, you're hesitant to make the same play on mid without the Pangolier TP up. Can't punish it. That's a bit sad. That's the real opportunity missed here. You got a power rune for the Storm as well, so that Rego would have been really strong. Could have even brought the Luna in and just completely crushed that objective. That's why these little things matter a lot, and instead you're gonna gotta be stuck in this map formation for a little longer, which is feeling great for Got the Juice, because he's just farming jungle and bottom lane completely free, no pressure on him.
It is going to start feeling a little bit better for Monkuchi. He still has his safe lane tower, and now he's got Mask of Madness, so he can start keeping up with the Terrorblade, maybe catching up. We'll see.
Just behind in levels. That's his biggest problem. He needs to get involved in a fight. And that'll help, for sure.
Yeah, quick kill onto the Pangolier. Squadix making a move and getting 2 maybe for it. They're going to drop the golem on it. Really nice Fatal Bonds. Is there any damage behind it, though? Monkuchi drops his Eclipse, runs down Reedy's. Not quite enough damage there, though. And now Niku has a chance to respond. He's going to clean up Kasane rather easily. And they get more. They'd be pushing into Serpent Wards here. These heroes are probably too far gone. So just the 1 kill onto Kasane. Decent for Niku, but probably feels better for 1W.
Well, this Rubik magic resist is going to be pretty strong this game. Soaking up some of the Luna Storm damage. Shouldn't underestimate it as it builds and builds in the later levels. And he does have some decent ults to steal here. Better than the Rubik game yesterday. You'll get Wrath of Nature. Oh boy, that was not the spell you wanted to give away here. Really gonna have to cover these. Like, you do not want to give Doom, Eclipse, Wrath, or Shaman Wards. I feel like every ult could definitely have impact in the fight. So you have to be a little more conscious of this. Not a bad start for Navi Jr. here, as all three of their cores pushing to the top of the charts. It's terrible. He just got so much solo time, no pressure going into him, and everybody got some levels. So this Luna's definitely going to have to recover through some ancient stacks, some team fighting with Eclipse if they can bring the fights to him. That would be ideal here. That kind of ebb and flow for the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy that PMA had that death and is still top net worth.
He had an absolutely free lane. They had kills in that lane too. I mean, it's like a dream start.
I mean, it's Triple S has the same number of kills, hasn't died, and he's a goddamn Doom, you know? Like, it's crazy how Pango has managed to usurp that lead.
To be fair, they are within about 150 of each other, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty close here.
Will this mid tower ever fall? Squadix had it low or so early on, but Navi Jr. has put considerable resources into keeping it up. But I think 1W also seems kind of comfortable. They don't keep up the pressure, it seems like, when they have these opportunities. It seems like the Doom and the Storm, they seem pretty content just to like, okay, we'll just get a little presence here and then back to farming.
I don't think they're rushed this game. I think they have a lot of room to scale. This is a pretty scary lineup for both teams to go ultra late from a behind position, so you just don't want to fall behind in net worth. Like, as long as this game's even, both teams probably feel like they can win late game team fights just through execution. But if you start trying to force things and you fall behind, it's going to get really hard for some of these cores to enter the fight at all. And we do see early Blink Dagger for Miku. Just Kaya into the Blink. Very aggressive buildup. This is a itemization that you need to find kills with. This is not an I'm going to farm the jungle. They would like to find Luna here. Still have that Wrath of Nature on the Rubik, but it is expiring here like 10 seconds. So you're going to, yeah, you just have to throw it out. A little sad you didn't get a fight or gank with that.
Yeah, they wanted Triple S, but he's just not showing right now.
They do get this really good ward in the triangle, and they have this position behind the tier 1. So this is a pretty deadly tier 1 to try and defend here. If you're 1-dub. Do not want to get baited into a bad fight.
Just in general, isn't this kind of crazy spacing from Navi Jr.? Like 5 heroes on the off lane tier 1 tower like this?
And they're not even assaulting it, and they're getting flanked. This is really awkward for
It's going to be a kill on his Zayas. Perhaps the golem goes out, might just save him here. He does manage to get a good ether shock, at least holds down the Shadow Shaman. Very nicely played. Great response from Reedies, and Zayas quick with it. Managed to steal Shackles and turn it back around on 1W.
Had some of that Rubik tankiness. Already has the early cloak up. 53% magic resist on Zero at 16 minutes. No joke. And a lot of the damage is magic. I thought they were going to be able to kill him a lot faster, but the little mini stuns on the Storm, he got golemed into telekinesis into Rolling Thunder, and he's just dead 100-0. That's pretty brutal for him. Maybe he could have got a jump off there, but it didn't happen, and that's a massive fight loss. I feel like that fight was going to go bad for 1-dub regardless. Even with that angle, I just don't think they expected all of Navi Jr. to be sitting around that tower like that. And they pay a big price. That's your Storm's momentum shut down in this game. He has really not found a lot after a strong laning start and being very high level. Like, he's basically highest level in the game, or at least he was. Not anymore.
Well, the BKB done on the Doom. And Manta done almost from Unkushi and Kaya Sanj. Does feel like a lot of pieces are coming together for 1W.
Maybe they want this tier 1 mid.
Yeah, finally.
Finally commit for it. too spooky. They're still not doing it. They're going to smoke for this tower. They don't even want to push it straight up. They'll show the Luna. Try and jump anybody else here. Look for that pull into the Doom that is the majority of their team fight presence.
Coming up the side, not finding anybody on the right-hand side here. Bunkushi almost getting gone on by the Rolling Thunder. A smoke from NAVI Jr. to try and set up better positioning for this fight.
Well, they got amp damage in the top river.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That is a really strong rune for this push. Especially on a Terrorblade with all carries.
Stormseer finally, he's like, I'll just take it. And here comes the Rolling Thunder, but they've already backed away a decent distance. They're gonna play around the Watcher here. Storm Spirit getting bumped a little bit. Oh, caught by the shackles, but he was able to get down. Triple S, make sure the F's gonna be stopped. Sweet and strong with the Hex out there.
Oh,
but Fatal Bonds is tearing them apart right now. They've got to be careful. Another Chakram does a little bit more damage. Nobody did just yet. It's the Rubik who falls. Now the Storm Spirit sees an opportunity, catches the Warlock on his way out. Despite the Fatal Bonds really tearing up 1W and doing a lot of damage there. NAVI Jr. unable to commit with their cores.
What a weird fight. I'm surprised it did not go better for NAVI Jr. considering they got a jump on the Storm. I guess the Rubik's position was just too compromised with BKB Doom running in. And really breaks that fight up, and the Rolling Thunder committed so early means you don't have it for the second half of that fight. But you had an amp damage Terrorblade. You had this Blink Timbersaw. And you had that really good 3-man Fatal Bonds. Nonetheless, the mobility of this Storm causing them issues. Like, you commit on this guy, and if you don't all in him, that turnaround potential is really high with your limited stunts. It's like you have Lift and Golem. That's pretty much it to try and start on him.
Yeah.
And once he gets BKB, he's going to be an absolute god. This is the concern for NAVI Jr. in this game is can you control the Storm's impact? He did not have the fastest early game here. He's not snowballing out of control. He doesn't have some crazy amount of galvanized stacks, but it's just a good Storm.
NAVI Jr.
Little smoke action.
3-man smoke up to the top lane to catch the Luna. They also have never mind, that's a Dire Ward. I was gonna say vision on Triple S. Might end up seeing Triple S here. They're going for a setup on Tormentor, but 1W could contest. They're in the area. No. Not in the position to do so. They accept the shard being given over.
Pretty tough to fight when you don't have vision or you're going into the high ground like that. Very hard to get the Storm initiation. There's a free little Furion.
But you can clearly see 1W is not looking to overly contest too much in this early game. They seem very content just to accept farm trade-offs for the most part.
Also, I mean, that shard is literally useless. So they didn't really gain anything with that. You just got an upheaval shard on Warlock and 0 points in upheaval. So
yeah, but
not really making the most.
But they take it means you don't have it, right? Which the shard is good for both of 1W heroes. It's also team gold, right? Oh god, this is a weird spot for a Rolling Thunder, man. Hey, it's a choke point and a half, but it's also a hard one for PMA to use correctly. They get the trade up of supports as he TPs away.
Look at this ward battle. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Who's winning? This is
whoever can micro better.
Got him. Got him in the end. The real shaman wins. A vicious battle. Snake on snake.
And PMA is well on his way to an Aghanim Scepter. He's going to have that so early.
He's fat.
I just, real fat. I just can't feel good about a slower game for 1W just because of the Luna matchup.
Yeah, it doesn't feel amazing right now, but they are going to have a very strong BKB timing across their cores. Like, you lose a lot of control on the side of NAVI Jr., which is a big problem in your lineup to begin with. When these BKB comes out, it means you can just man up for some of these objectives. And the Luna one is done here. The Dooms has been done. And the Storm, he opted for Witchblade first, but he will eventually get there. And this triple BKB can cause you big problems because you can just all in this Terrorblade potentially. Amp damage on Squad X right now is also pretty terrifying. It's an insane damage output. If you can land a Doom on one of these big core targets, the fight is absolutely open. Just got to watch for a clump around the bonds and some of the tankiness of the Timbersaw with the Ags already done. And they are really hunting off this smoke. They went enemy triangle. It's kind of an awkward place to smoke to after you poked the Roche, because the assumption would be if everyone's off the map, they're coming to see what you're doing around the Roche pit. Instead, you go to the opposite side of the map and you don't find anybody. You do get this midway pushed in with illusions and snakes, though, so this will give you information. Have to show to defend this.
It'll be the TB illusions to do so.
Yeah, that's 250 gold right there for TB. It's not too sad about that one. I mean, he is mega farmed. Like, he got pressure on the lane a little bit, but otherwise, Juice has just been jungling. He has not had impact yet, but absolutely can at some point.
And once he gets to Scotty, things start getting really bad for the TB Luna matchup.
It's definitely not fun. You gotta get something out of these BKBs. That's what it feels like. I'm surprised that 1Dub aren't trying to force the Roche or some objective harder here.
Well, there ain't no way they should let Navi Jr. just take Roche for free. Now, Sweden Strong is waiting for the rest of his team to get here. Get a little vision inside the pit through Kasane and his shard, Curse of the Old Growth.
Arcane Rune top would be really nice for the Storm right now, but no vision on it. Just gonna have to take this fight the old-fashioned way. Or
if there's going to be a fight at all.
Yeah, there's bail. This is where I feel like if you're 1Dub, you have to just force the issue. Like, you have to just Roche and make them fight your BKB timing. It feels a little too tentative right now.
All right. Arcane Rune. Roshan is going to go to the other side, so maybe they're just waiting for that.
That's true. Maybe it's a vision positional game. They did get the rune, which is nice here. But every time you don't force the fight with the BKBs, they become a little weaker, and this Terrorblade is pushing towards the next item.
Yeah, if you don't take the fight soon, you're going to have the Scotty before the Butterfly on Luna. But if you take the fight, and if you win some of those fights, and you keep the TB down a little bit, or you get the Luna up, she can have Butterfly before the TB and have, you know, a timing advantage. But if the game is static, TB is just going to out-farm you.
Feels like Navi Jr. are quite okay with what's happening right now. Maybe Storm BKB is going to be the big green light here to completely force the issue, because then you're just not afraid of anything on Squad X. It's like guaranteed Storm free fight.
EMA does get his Aghanim Scepter. Big damage upgrade. That and level 15. Swashbuckles doing some extra damage. Maybe I'll be proven wrong here, but I just do not like this stalled out game for 1W.
Generally not the type of game Luna wins. I would agree in that sense. This is a hero that you want to hit items on, and you want to use them right away to gain at least some sort of advantage and put yourself ahead of the enemy carry. That's generally the style of game that Luna prefers to play. Now, this hero can go late, can be a formidable force, but it's kind of a fallback situation, not the ideal. Now the Roche
It's gonna have to be about the other heroes. Then it's gonna have to be about the Furion and Doom. Maybe they can make up some of that difference in just the carry-on-carry matchup. Got the Juice, has to use his Manta early as the Spirit Vessel charge got put on him. That does leave Kasane with no more charges for this fight.
It's a lot of damage, though. This is another instance where you had Arcane Rune Storm, but you can't force the issue because you're just trying to get to his BKB. It's very clear that they have been trying to stall and wait for this, so at this point you may as well finish it up. But it has cost you some very useful power runes.
Trying to blink backwards, but the Rolling Thunder is likely to catch him here. The smoke up of Navi Jr. is going to find its mark. Not a terribly large kill. As long as they get it on the way out. Nice use of the swashbuckle shield crash to finish him
That's
off.
kind of BM, to be honest. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll just hit you as I'm out later, dog.
They are going to buy back, and Navi Jr. are likely just going to be like, okay, well, Rolling Thunder's on cooldown, so we're not going to force the fight. We're not going to do the Roshan. And it's up to 1W to see what... Oh, they actually caught the Doom here. And early BKB. Defensive BKB has to be used. Meta also got used, though. So got the juice kind of... He probably feels like he needs to finish up this Roshan.
Oh, what a rune, too, man. Illusion rune for this meta TV. It's pretty nice. There's the BKB for the Storm.
You get some vision inside the pit. Sprout. Curse. Both getting some vision. Triplet's gonna go in, and they got the Doom onto the TV, and they should be able to burst him down here. They stole the Doom out on the Rubik Science.
Aegis on the ground.
Use it, though. Shackled up. Nico gets inside the pit, got the Aegis, but the Eclipse took him down once, and now he's gonna be surrounded on a second go. Comes back to life, immediately gets controlled up. Got to the other side of the pit, but they'll still find the kill. 1W. They take the fight, and it goes real well.
I'm surprised that Navi Jr. manned up like that. Like, I don't think you can just force Roche with Terrorblade when you know this Doom can just blink Doom you. Like, what? The only way that works out is if you kill the Roche while you're doomed and you pick up Aegis. Which is like... I don't know,
Yeah.
that seems hard to execute. I don't know how much you can rely on that because the damage is insane. It felt like you had to go on 1W when they're going down this ramp, right? If you go in with your 2 cores, but the problem is you don't have the Rolling Thunder. So going in there is rough. You did steal this Doom, but I don't think you got it off on anybody. You just got shackled and killed. Positioning is just way too bad if you don't have Rolling Thunder and Pango to control those choke points. They're just able to go in the pit, bring you down. And this is where I'm saying, like, this game, you have BKBs, you go in, if you doom the Terrorblade and you just pop BKB on everybody, I don't think the fight looks that difficult right now. I think it's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of turnaround potential. That was so much gold from Mankushi as well. Like, he got at least 2 or 3K off that. It finishes up the entire butterfly. This Luna's level 20 now. He's massive.
Yeah, and that butterfly timing, it's going to feel really good in this little window. I mean, Revenant's Brooch was the choice for Got the Juice. The butterfly is going to significantly prolong the Luna's lifespan in fights. Avi Jr. Now they're the ones on the back foot. And 1W, now that they have a net worth lead, it looks pretty nice. I mean, you've got a scaling up Doom. Even if the Luna TB matchup doesn't feel the best, you've got a scaling up Doom. You've got a scaling up support in Nature's Prophet. He's got an Aghanim Scepter now. And a Shiva's for the Doom. So big timings here. Playing for the Tormentor, though. Navi Jr. Gonna run it back. Challenging 1W. Sitting on the high ground, Triple S is going to be spotted here. Got the reflection on him, and they're in the trees right where the Timbersaw wants some. Hits a big whirling death, big damage goes out. Not quite enough to get a kill, though. Somehow they didn't fully commit to that. That seemed like a pretty good situation to me.
I think both teams were afraid. Both expecting different outcomes. Navi Jr. rather just get the objective here. They'll get a better shard this time. A big core hero. I mean, it's a powerful Hex. You get a Hex like that, yeah, it's hard to see why you shouldn't commit, because there's not a lot of turnaround in this 1W lineup. So you're going to have to watch for the Hex on the Storm, especially in these fights. You have to BKB early here if you're Squad X. Guarantee you can find your impact.
Man, Sweet and Strong almost has a BKB.
There's just a lot of gold on this support duo. They're not afraid of fighting right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe I was wrong. I think the Luna versus TB is not a good matchup. But every other hero on 1W does seem to be scaling up more than Navi Juniors.
Yeah. I think right now they're hitting a nice inflow of gold, especially after that one team fight. But I do think this tri-core is pretty scary for Navi Jr. in the ultra late. Like 5 or 6 slots on all 3 of these cores, you have 3 high damage source carries effectively, so it's generally a type of lineup that does well against Doom. I can see a world where even if you Doom and kill this Terrorblade, the Timbersaw Pango have enough damage to punch through the rest of the lineup. That said, I think this Storm Luna is going to still continue to power up for another at least 15-20 minutes here. Yeah, again, it's such a good Storm game. It's kind of hard to bet against this guy, even if you're scaling up a lot of damage, because the control is going to have to be there. Like, you're going to have to land very clutch hexes or bashes from the Pango, something of this nature. Stolen Hex on Science right now as well. That's a big spell to have in this game. Combination with the Scythe on the Timber, you have 2 hexes available. I'd love to take a fight right now. Unfortunately, you are going into 4 BKBs as the BKB for the Shaman arrives. But if you can start the fight with the hexes, then these BKBs don't matter. There's no bailout mechanism in this lineup.
That's true. No saves. We're getting close to that Scotty on Terrorblade. I think they'd like to wait for that one. Smoke comes in from 1W. Does not catch Niku somehow. Got a hex onto the Storm Spirit, but I don't think they can turn this around. They're going to try with the Rolling Thunder. They do bump into Squadix, but he has plenty of time to pop the BKB if he wants to. No real threat from Navi Jr. And the best part was, maybe not the best part, but a nice little cherry on top. They got the juice back to potentially take that fight.
There's a lot of map control.
Yeah.
They got Gem. I mean, it's a pretty brutal blow. Lost that Heckwick as well, which you really would have liked to have had for this fight. Let the snakes do the dirty work.
Cheetahs got the opening onto the Terrorblade. Beautiful initiation from Triple S. He blinks forward, hits him with the Shivas and the Congregations of the Deep. That AoE stun is a nice addition in this matchup against the Terrorblade too, because even if there are like a bunch of illusions, at least you're stunning everything, giving yourself that window of time to find the real TB and doom them.
That's such a big find in this game. Don't even get this high ground defense out of your Terrorblade. Should be a lane down. I'm surprised they're not manning up more for this.
Yeah, I mean, patience and discipline has been the way for 1W in this game. They've been playing it slow, and it's put them into a winning position in the first place. So, Mankushi, we finally commit for this melee. Actually, there's no TV for 34.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I guess
Right,
I get that you're afraid of getting like hexed into chain stun from Pango because there is nothing to bail you out. Like, you have a single force staff on the Furion, that's it. But that feels a little too afraid here.
Yeah. Definitely does feel like TI qualifier nerves, you know. Both teams being very safe.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand it. I mean, there's been a lot of throws going high ground this qualifier as well. You know, these guys were probably...
be found. Nice little pickup for Navi Jr. here. If they can do finish off this Furion, it's going to be the Gem drop down. So Furion plus Gem plus we're right in that timing around Roshan respawn. So this will help get you map control, leading to potential Roche contest.
Really important to get that Gem back. Got his courier on top of it as well. Not too bad. But most important thing for Navi Jr. is they've got to get this Terrorblade involved in a fight. Like, I feel like this has been 10 or 15, maybe 20 minutes where we have not seen the Terrorblade really hit an enemy hero. He got jumped and doomed in that Roche fight, and he got jumped and doomed on that high ground push, and that was it. So he built for damage. He's closing in on that Scotty. He doesn't have it yet, but he's still very susceptible to just getting all in. These 2 other cores need to go in first. Like, you need to take the brunt of the initiation or start the fight on your terms between this Pango and Timber. If that doesn't happen, then it's likely your Terrorblade is just getting jumped and doomed. That's worst case scenario.
Oh, nice round from Zayats. Caught Sweet and Strong. They're actually going to try and follow up that initiation. Sweet and Strong, though, quick with the BKB, turns it back around onto the Rubik. Meanwhile, farther up,
An Eclipse and another Doom. Monster got the juice. Another Terrorblade death. He is not able to do anything in these fights. He's just being picked apart by this Doom over and over and over again.
BKBs are too powerful. It just lets you run through everything. Trying to get some collateral, but PMA, he gets out. Finds a couple supports. There was a Rubik buyback. Same old story, though. Like, you start the fight, the BKBs go out, and it's just so much freedom to find this Terrorblade and all in him. No defensive capability. Doom is a powerful spell, man. We're seeing it here. That was also a pretty nasty Wrath of Nature. It came through and rooted them all, like, on that same spot, and just let you run them down. This Ags on the Furion has been quite impactful in these fights.
Now with an Aegis. Munkushi, level 24, closing in on 25. Storm Spirit up to 19 galvanized stacks. I assume they gave it to Luna, means that we're going to see a high ground push out of 1W during this Aegis period.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be on the menu. Or at least contain them in their base and look for the pickoff that will lead into the high ground if you don't want to force it straight up. It's something of that nature. I was looking at the blood rate. I feel like we've seen a lot of these blood rates, but sometimes they're on heroes where it's like, what are you actually getting out of it here? Maybe it was still the best of the options yet, but I don't think it's the greatest Doom item. I guess it's okay with Congregations of the Deep. I mean, buff the Ravage AoE.
Yeah, yeah.
There's 2 more blood rates. Pretty interesting. These are pretty nice on the Timber, but pretty nice on the Warlock as well. You got a lot more AoE to work with.
Maybe we'll see Triple S get an Aghanim Scepter. Oh. Bigger Doom.
Could be spicy. Could be spicy for sure. That said, Munkushi is hitting his stride right now. That's level 25 for the Luna. Extra damage. That is a lot of Lunar Blessing damage. 100 on him. God damn. And he has Aegis, so time to push if you really want to. Satanic done. Extra Lunar Blessing damage.
He's going to run into the enemy team here. Got him on the scythe. No follow-up.
Not the guy you want to go on. Not during this Aegis period. I'd be really surprised if they didn't try and push with this. Like, your Luna's just not going to get much stronger in this game. It's kind of his peak right now. Have to take advantage of it. Try and force Navi Jr. to fight you on your terms. You have a banner you can drop for the high ground. You have, I guess, limited utility. Like, that's the one downside. You just don't have a lot of Glimmer Cape Force Stabs to kind of soft bail the Luna out when he gets poked. But Satanic should be enough sustain to push. All right, he's going to force it here. Into the back door. Sending a message.
Terrorblade doesn't let the mid lane push in, so they take bottom instead. Smoke wrap around. They get up to the high ground here. Rolling Thunder is going to go out.
Oh, the Storm just TP'd out.
Kasane at first. Trying to deal with the Furion while causing some chaos on Sweden Strong as well here. The jump in from the Storm Sphere got the grab onto the Rubik on the right-hand side, so they take him out. So supports are going to go down first. Both of them, in fact, buybacks are going to be used. Be good. They're with the Eclipse. They're trying to chase after the Terrorblade right now. Spotted him, got off the Manta, but it looks like, again, he's going to be doomed. No chance for a Sunder. I don't know if I've seen a Sunder in this game.
I don't even know if it would matter. I mean, this guy is just getting destroyed in the fights. Like, the rundown is insane. Not enough ways to hold the front line with this Pango Timber, and they're not creating enough of a threat to hold the fight on their own. That might just be the game. This Terrorblade has no buyback. Went in for the Scotty. Did not pay off.
I think it's pretty clear that it's... Yeah,
that's a big courier kill.
Losing that courier is just gonna be the extra bit of pain on top of this game, but I don't think there's anything left for Navi Jr. 1W with an Aegis still in hand for Luna. Will at least get Megas with it. Scythe goes out. Biku just 100 to 0. Time and time again.
I mean, this was the problem that I saw in the draft. Like, what is to stop every fight just being Storm jumps you, pulls a dude into the Doom? I feel like we just saw it over and over, and there is no answer to it. There's no save, there's no turnaround.
All in on the Storm Spirit. They're running out of disables, and he gets the zip away. Well, that feels pretty
to
bad.
go base. But you got Mega
PMA in the
here,
back
so
lines. In some trouble. Monkushi's actually taken some damage here, and his Aegis is about to expire. Can they chase this down? His Aegis is now expired. Take away that regen. All in on him, and they've got him. So
okay.
It's not over yet. They're gonna face up against Megas for the rest of the game, but they will hold for now.
Unfortunately, you're against what is now Octarine, level 20 Furion. And your Timber's dead.
Got doomed, but the Doom turned back around on Triple S. And while he could BKB, walk away, the supports may not have that same luxury. Quick blink out, jump in from the storm. Before the shield crash, and they're just put together. Oh,
See you later.
Nasty
See
stuff
you
when you hit level 25
later.
on Storm Spirit. Game is over.
Yeah, there's still no Sunder, by the way. It's just, there's just no way. There's no way to get it off in these fights.
Going to fight.
They're never going to be the one starting. That's the way they react. But they have no playmaker in that regard.
Yeah, they have nothing. This is a win lanes and farm lineup. And you can win through that. It just takes a bit of finesse. Flip side, Navi Jr. have all of their big initiator displacement heroes, right? They got the Tiny, the Venge, and the Mag. So easy to just go on anybody because you're just going to drag them out of the formation. And that Song and Infest, not reliable to bail that hero out if you get swapped or skewered deep into the enemy team. So I do like what they have going on. I think it's way easier for them to make plays. The team fight looks super strong. Their scale is quite solid with this empowered Venge. We saw it being really strong yesterday. By the way, Enigma Galaxy stole this strat and played it today as well. So it's catching on a little bit. Or maybe, maybe these guys stole it from Enigma Galaxy. That's also possible.
That's true. That's true. They say they're usually ahead of the meta. They just can't seem to lead the meta when it comes to it. Late smoke from Navi Jr. after the Naga Siren Illusion scouted. They didn't really find anything for it, and it seems like their position is for it as well. The one dub walked away with triple bounty runes.
Nice little win for a lineup that wants to win this laning phase through some good matchups. Which, in theory, they have some good ones. Like, you have SF against a melee hero mid. It is Tiny, who has some high base damage, is going to get out of this lane, but anytime you get the melee versus SF, you should be pretty happy. You get this Razor versus the Doom. Another fine matchup laning-wise for the Razor if you can get some good links going. I would be surprised if One Dub did not walk away with a laning phase victory here in some capacity.
Yeah. I think what lane of Navi Jr. are they most likely to get the upset and win?
I can see the Venge Mag lane getting a cheeky kill here or there. It's the one ranged against melee matchup they have. It can be pretty strong in the level 2 and 3 with, Nuke into Shockwave, into Skewer. At the same time, they might just do the stacking game they did previously and try and accelerate this Venge through that. I think Doom Ringmaster is also quite strong. Like, we should not underestimate this safe lane for Navi Jr. Even though it's a Razor up here.
Matchup, right? Which he would play the off lane Doom. I remember he would always fight the Razor in like this level 2 or 3 category, and you would actually win it because Static Link doesn't drain enough damage compared to what Torch Burst does.
You got to respect the nukes up here, and so I could absolutely see the Razor going down maybe once, but I think over the long run, Triple S should farm And that's kind of just what one dub want. They just want all their cores to farm in this early game because they don't have the playmaking, so you just have to stay on lanes. Win the lanes means you can stay on them longer and not have to, you know, not forced in the jungle, not forced to react to a collapsing laning phase or anything like this.
And there's the first blood. They do manage to get it. Doom goes down, but they trade out Sweet and Strong for it. So Triple F already winning his lane.
A nice little start for him. Boots are coming out as well, so more chased out potential. Puts them to a faster level 3, and they have the creep equilibrium in a very good spot with the camps blocked. Pretty much the ideal setup for this Razor. This level 3 is going to be really scary to survive into as we go into this Lotus period. Get the cleric canceled.
Really in trouble. He does have, of all of the tricks in his bag, that was definitely not the best one, but he still survived.
Got the job done. Should give the Lotus to one dub up here, and this lane's pretty secured now. You missed your window to challenge it with that Doom. That kill did not go your way. Did get a Harpy creep spawn. If you want to take the Devour level 3, could be interesting here.
Yeah, that is.
Even if you don't win the lane, you could jungle with it too.
Considering the number of denies they're getting out of this lane, it feels like the Doom does need a range.
Kasane just battling down.
Battling it out. Skewer back. It is not. But he might still survive. Slows him down with the deluge. That got buffed up in what? The last patch or previous patch? Extra slow than it used to.
They reduced the max movement speed, right?
Right.
The change?
Yeah.
Doesn't actually show it though. Well, this is a triple laning win, technically, for one dub. That's what they were aiming for with these picks. And they're getting it.
Here indeed. Top 3 CS. Not terribly
This is one of
surprising
those
though.
games-
It's going to be that window of like 10 to 20 minutes. That's going to be the rough haul for 1W.
100%. Which is why if they can just stay on these lanes, this is one of those games where they would like to keep the lanes going as long as possible and just keep them static. Like, they don't want a lot of roaming, they don't want a lot of rune contests, they don't want gate rotations or any of this nonsense. Just play the lane straight up for as long as possible and lock NAVI Jr. in these matchups. And that's kind of ideal for them. Especially if Squad X just gets left alone in this one-on-one. Like, you can start to take it over now. 3 points in the raise. It's where Shadow Fiend gets pretty scary in the isolated matchup. We're seeing Niku tentative to go up here. Just has to spam the wave out. No stacks up for Zayats yet either. He's been forced to stay on the lane and help this Venge. That was a big component of this Mag Venge that we saw, was getting a lot of ancient stacks, empowering this Venge, letting him go to work. Really helped him get to that Ags. Using the facet to its best benefit.
And if Kasane's on it, right, he could just constantly mess with that, right? Yeah. Mag just isn't in lane. He just throws the illusions out there, stops all the stacking. He's already thrown it up there once or twice just to get some vision of the area. Knows that there's no stacks yet.
Happy about that. Again, if you lock these heroes in the laning phase and you don't give them the stacks, one dub should be happy with the outcome.
6-minute power rune. Niku really hoping it's bottom lane. He wants a rune so badly, and it's not going to be there, but they'll at least get a kill for it, it looks like, with the skewer back on a Kasane, a toss to finish him off, and a final swing. So they get a kill out of the situation. Squad X does walk away with the illusion rune, though.
That was a pretty greedy rune contest, I must say. Like,
yeah.
What was the plan there? They just don't press buttons?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Rune secured, I guess. All works out. Bringing heroes bottom. They want to kill this Venge before he's level 6.
Might be able to get inside. It's going to have to be a hero with this skewer. Not body block his ally. Okay, he's just going to leave him behind. Couldn't stop the rage anyway, so.
I mean, Wisdom Shrine spawning, so you do not want to give it up here.
Kasani's going to try, but he's just not going to be there in time, so no worries about that.
I will say I do prefer these shrines over the runes for one big reason, which is I think being able to deny the rune was just complete bullshit.
Turning around, Triple S. He got the link onto the Doom, but with Niku coming in, they wanted to take the fight. They didn't do enough damage, though. Triple S dodging the dagger will just be able to walk away. So Navi Jr., a defensive rotation, doesn't really do anything for them.
Feels bad for Niku. A lot of wasted time, and his tower is gone. Make one bad move against the SF. Say goodbye to your mid tower. That's a big win for Squad X here.
Especially with an illusion rune, right? Helps you tank the tower, helps scout on the side lanes to make sure that supports aren't rotating on him.
He's mega fat out of this laning phase. Strong start for the Shadow Fiend. And he's against a lot of melee heroes, so he gets a good start. He can run people down.
Munkushi, what a play. He infests inside one of the Prowlers, snuck up behind him, and got that initial ensnare hit. Set up the kill. Really well done.
Well, there's your playmaking, I guess.
Yeah,
Do it the old-fashioned way.
He took Gore Storm as well, which was pretty trash when it first came out, but it's been buffed a couple times. And I put it to use there, that's for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen Gore Storm in a competitive game.
Yeah, this would be a first for me as well.
I think I saw it once at the very start when it was introduced, and then it was just like, all right, we're done with that. I still think this facet's kind of bad. I guess it is some extra nuke damage if you're going to try and, make some plays with this lifesteal around the map, because your lineup's so AFK. Maybe it helps a little bit in that area. Definitely caught that Doom off guard. Got the juice, not expecting that move. He's like, what the hell is this? Go farm.
Well, it's plays like that that are going to really prolong 1W's position in this game. Because we expect at some point in time, Blink Dagger coming up on Niku and like some of these other items. Navi Jr. are going to be the more active of the two teams, but you could slow them down with moves like that. Maybe you get to your Radiance at a time that Navi Jr. are pushing into an early Radiance Lifestealer. It's going to be dangerous.
100%. That's why winning this laning phase is so important, because your draft is designed to pull ahead here, but it's a lot more important you pull ahead enough that the playmaking for Navi Jr. gets delayed. And then by the time they can look for this stuff with the Tiny or the Mag, your heroes are strong enough to just take the fight. As more stacking attempted by Zayats, but this Naga is incredibly good at denying this. Very annoying for this Mag Venge. And this will really add up. This is your efficiency game getting shut down.
Got the toss back on a Kasane. Missed the dagger, but okay, missed another dagger.
Double dagger.
He'll get it eventually. So that'll help Niku get to his Blink Dagger, which is an all-important timing for Navi Jr. as their lanes are crumbling a bit. They've lost their mid tower, they've lost their top tower, the lanes are getting pushed in pretty aggressively. They can't really stop the Lifestealer, they can't really turn things around and take his safe lane tower. Should be able to get this kill on Sweden Strong. Easily surrounding Dark Willows. He gets a little too aggressive there in the jungle, just like Kasane did.
Did get some creeps away from got the juice and got the D-ward. Forces 3-man rotation. It's not honestly the worst loss from a goal perspective. Will help Niku get to the blink though. That's the one saving grace for Navi Jr. It will be up right now. So now you can start looking for some stuff around the map. Trying to bring some of these cores down, that would be ideal. Gotta slow down the farming pace because this SF has been in the jungle, man, and he is 105 CS. It's kind of the SF dream. 0-0-0. You'll take that.
Yeah, for sure.
stacks being cleared. But again, you look at the map, like it's one dub being able to stand on the lanes, and it's Navi Jr. getting forced into the jungle. And their early jungle is not that efficient. It picks up if you have crazy stacking or the Doom has Midas and stuff. The Midas just got delivered, so it'll pick up a little bit for him. But you still need to find a couple plays with this tiny. Amp damage definitely will help you in that regard. Because right now you are getting a little out economy around the map. So you need to shut somebody down here.
Smoke gonna run into Sweden Strong. And got him before the Shadow Realms, so doesn't even delay anything. That'll be Blink Dagger and Amp damage used for the Tiny. And expect to see him be running around the map near constantly, picking off 1W and see if they can claw back this 3,000 net worth lead that built up from 1W off the laning phase. They don't get enough done soon. Munkushi is going to be able to finish up his Radiance. He has 2,300 in the bank, and he's making a move now with the Infest. He's going to go up the top lane with this Black Dragon, but Navi Jr. have already backed out of the area, so he's probably not going to find much.
This is going to be the real test in this game for 1W, because they did okay in this lane phase, but what can you translate this into? Because, you don't have the playmaking. So how do you stop Navi Jr. just farming their way back in this game with the Doom efficiency and the Magnus efficiency, which is pretty hard to match? That's the big question. And I guess it's going to be Lifestealer doing something.
He doesn't have too much longer on this Black Dragon. The Gore Storm does wear out the creep eventually, so.
Oh, don't mind me. Just a wee fairy.
This is awkward right now. You can feel it. They're trying to kind of stop Navi Jr. farming, but can't really do it at the same time, so you have to be content with just picking up your own farm rate. Perhaps Blink on the Shadow Fiend for Squadix can open up some more options. You can just look for this Blink Requiem off the Asha and Kaya cast speed.
Oh, don't mind me. Just a wee fairy going about her business.
It's going to be a farm-heavy game, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Farm it up with Midases and Empowers. EMA is going to have his Ags soon. That'll be a yet another point where Navi Jr. can look to fight around.
I wonder how much they're going to try and force it with that, because you could make these smoke plays around the tier 1s, which are all still standing, and just look for an aggressive swap and a kill. And I think it's pretty reliable here. Like, you just swap it at Doom or Avalanche or something.
Good read of the situation here, maybe from 1W. Triple S and Sweden Strong smoke from the top part of the map, go through the gate, and head to this corner where Navi Jr. were kind of setting up. It looked like it anyway, with the mag sitting behind Tiny, but they opt not for aggression. So now the smoke is kind of ruined. Triple S and Sweden Strong, I think they almost had the right idea. They were going to counter some aggression from Navi Jr., maybe punish them if they went for a dive on the tower, but Navi Jr. called a halt on that.
I mean, you have to be okay farming in this game if you're 1W. Like, that'll be my final say on it. If you're not comfortable farming in this late game, then this draft makes no sense. So you can just look for defensive fights here and let Navi Jr. make the plays and respond. Your response is on point.
Got the Dark Willow
like I've seen this before.
This time around, Riddies doesn't hit the chain stun quite as well, but he still has his ultimate, so Dark Willow's not getting out of here.
This game just feels like smoking or running to kill the Willow every 3 minutes and nothing else happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Radiance is done for the Doom. Strong, I'm mad, dude. I'm like, what is going on in this game?
So we have our double Radiances, one for the Doom, one for the Lifestealer.
And there's Ags for the bench.
And
I feel like the items are here for Navi Jr. if they want to start looking for some more.
Especially
he's
level
gonna
2
kill the
swap
ward
as well. Okay, ward's gonna get denied. Sweden Strong survives the engagement. Good for him.
like, nobody kills me up here 5 times in a row.
And PMA will start pushing into mid. Not going to hit the tower. They have this nice high ground ward, like near that mid tower area. I would have thought we'd be looking for something. Instead, top lane, blink backwards from the tiny triple S. Yeah, they got a ward on him, so they'll probably kill the Ringmaster through this. Avalanche trying to break the link. Not good enough. Good brambles there catching Niku. If he could actually stop Niku from blinking away, which he tags him with a blood grenade, now hits him with some bedlam. His team's a little bit too far away, though. If anything, Sweden Strong's got to be careful he won't die here. Ensnare goes out. PMA going to be pulled in. This is an Aghanim Scepter. He's going to swap in Squadix, die the first time, come back in. Read another swap, another
nice
stun.
bramble.
Doesn't do anything. Good bramble and reset there off of. They're gonna hit him with the Gore Storm.
They can Requiem terrorize this.
Requiem too. The terrorize goes out at the same time, and they're completely controlled. 1W put together a nice little team fight there. More TPs coming in. RP put to use here to try and finish off this Dark Willow, but it's Navi Jr. just getting fully routed in this team fight.
That is a bad fight to lose. I mean, that is your Venjags Doom Radiance fight around a tier 2, and you get 6 for 1. Absolutely brutal. Just completely disconnected there for Navi Jr. Coming in 1 by 1. The fight starts pretty poorly. I think you should just bail on that entirely. Instead, you get caught in a 3-man song. And that is not going to end well with you with Requiem Terrorize on top of it. You don't have BKBs, nothing to bail you out. Your Venge has already died once effectively. Really awkward engagement. I'm not sure what they were looking for here. Like, maybe you're going to linger around this area and try and swap someone into the tier 2 and burst them down. But when that doesn't happen, I feel like you have to bail on this fight.
Man, just such a great setup for Terrorize and Requiem. A 3-man song, and they're all in kind of the same AoE. And then the fact that they get caught at even more heroes, like trying to recover the team fight after it's already gone bad. A lot of bad decisions there from Navi Jr.
And the thing is, they're the ones who control where and when the fights happen, because they have all the initiation. So if you feel like the fight's awkward, you don't want to take it. It's in your hands. It's not like 1W can force that action.
Big tower will be taken. It does put cooldowns very clearly. You're not going to be fighting if you're 1W.
Requiem is going to be
super
important this game. He's going Hags. And
yeah, it's
gonna be strong Ags Requiem game when you have this song to kind of help set it up.
He's got an Invis rune with the Requiem coming back up, so he's looking for something, and he's gonna find got the juice. Can he one-shot him? He does. Beautifully done by Squadix.
What a find, man. Just beautiful stuff. He is really pulling ahead now, having himself a game 3-0-3. That Ags is done. He's a monster. His SF he's a problem.
Really is. They get to get Tormentor for that, so now Kasani's song is going to heal up. Kasani himself, though, is dead. But they'll get a little extra gold for that kill.
Does cost him the RP, but it does help Zayats get to that blink, which has been slow, and they really need it here. As strong as this SF is, you can always just displace him into the team.
Oh, Niku. Oh, you should have BKB TP. Oh, no. It just gets worse and worse for Navi Jr., man.
I mean, he's probably thinking there's only like 1 stun in the game. It's the Bramble, but the Bramble was there.
Indeed.
Navi Jr. in trouble. They need to stabilize this game. They also, I think they have to find a kill on Squadix before he finishes BKB. Because then this SF is going to be close to untouchable.
Sane playing around with Riddies down here. Meanwhile, the Dark Willow is Sweet and Strong's game has recovered enough. I mean, he just got those back-to-back-to-back jungle deaths, but now, having been a part of a couple of successful team fights, has a Blink Dagger. So the limited disables here from 1W, well, at least Sweet and Strong can be a little bit more active with those disables.
He did a lot of work in that fight top. In fact, we got double Bedlam on that Tiny over the course of that fight. Good Terrorize connection, multiple Bramble connections. This Naga Willow support duo is really annoying to fight into. It's just a lot of obnoxious control. And they're kind of tanky and annoying to go on at the same time, so you have to commit a lot to bring them down. And at the same time, you don't feel good doing it because you're likely doing it into a bunch of garbage. Not fun for a lineup with 4 melee heroes, effectively.
Oh, yeah. Great position for 1W to be in. And they locked the EWC Western European qualifiers twice. 2 different series got eliminated by NAVI Jr. NAVI Jr. went on to qualify for EWC through those qualifiers, and now playing against each other in the TI qualifiers in this upper bracket situation. And it's not going to put Navi Jr. in elimination, but I'm sure it'll feel really good for 1W. And I think effectively, I mean, I kind of felt like whoever walked away
Don't mind me. Just a wee fairy going about her business.
to claim the upper bracket spot.
Oh, you're just an OG hater, huh?
Didn't say that. I mean,
Well, that's what you implied.
You gotta admit, of the 4 teams, OG teams were definitely far from complete.
Sure, but I think you're underrating that other bracket series a little bit. You know,
Oh, don't mind
I could see 4 Pirates make it, dude. These guys are
I am also with 4
they're cooking
Pirates.
something.
I'm also with that. I think OG is, for me anyway, is the 4th strongest of these teams.
Yeah, so you're an OG hater. It's all good. There's a lot of them out there. Stand strong, Austin. You know, stand behind your beliefs.
That's all. I watched the quarterfinal matchups. I have my opinion about who looks the best. Doesn't mean I hate them.
That's fair. Well, the lead has grown here, 10K. Closing out on that SFBKB. That's going to be tough timing for Navi Jr. to deal with if they don't kind of make something happen here. I guess you have a bunch of BKB peers with like swap
don't
plus
mind me. Just a
RP,
wee fairy going about her business.
and you're farming towards your own. I just don't think you have as much damage to output right now. Heroes are getting kind of tanky.
One thing for certain, maybe this game is stalling and 1W is just going to build up a lead, but it's never going to be easy pushing into Navi Jr. considering just the mass repositioning that they have into Doom.
There is one factor though, which is if you just get Blink on Naga, like the second someone gets swapped or skewered, you can just song Blink in.
Yeah, true.
You are dead.
And it forces like Navi Jr. have to BKB to kill that guy then. I don't really know how reliable that is, but it is an option, and Kasane is eyeing up this Blink. Like, this Naga can be really obnoxious on these displacement things, because the thing is, when you go for this skewer or swap, it probably means you're clumped behind where you want that target to end up.
Oh, don't mind
So if you just
me.
song
Just
Blink
a
in,
wee fairy
there's a
going about
pretty
her
high
business.
likelihood you catch 3 or 4 heroes on the same spot.
Yeah.
And that can just be team fight over.
Navi Jr. is struggling to make these rotations run into cores. They've killed the Dark Willow a number of times. They've run into Kasane a number of times.
SF, Deathless, Razor, Deathless, and Lifestealer, Deathless.
Pretty clean game so far for 1Dub's trio. Just trying to get to their big defensive items. And Roshan's still on the table as well. Not a very fast game in terms of the objective taking. He's going to go top now. I feel like 1Dub need a Vlad somewhere in this lineup. That's what I would really want. Vlad's
Probably
for these 3
from
cores. Open
bench.
the Roche up a bit more. No, I'm saying for 1Dub.
Oh, for 1W.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, both teams would probably like one eventually, but I think it's easier for this Naga or... Yeah, probably Kasane to buy one after this Blink. And there's your BKB for the SF. Good timing for one, though, if they want to force the Roche. If they feel strong enough to do it. Instantly in the pit. I mean, this is very decisive, very clean. And I do not think Navi Jr. can get here in time, even if they wanted to.
Yeah, really only Navi Jr., all they could do from the position that they had is just go high ground. And then try and force one dub back. And it's probably still kind of a losing situation for you. Probably still giving up Roshan no matter what. But that would have been the best case scenario. Instead, I'm not sure if they're aware of what's going on, but they back out, farm up some more. Trying to get to the next round of items, which has got the juice with the Manta. That is his item. Niku is building into just pure damage. He's got Chrysalis and he's working on a Daedalus. He'll have that quite soon. So they are building up their Tricore threat, at least.
Yeah, you can't forget, like, they're going to have Empower on everybody. They're going to have Vengeance or a Wave of Terror. This is the double damage buff lineup. They have the Pack Leader as well. So actually, this is... Everybody's just going to have double damage in the fight, effectively. Which is pretty insane. And they'll smoke. They want to take the fight.
It's just so hard. These Naga Siren illusions are constantly scouting out, so... I feel like one dub might have a read of this situation, blinking into them. Kazani is going to be swapped back, and they get the quick kill on him. Good start for Navi Jr. And they get a little bit more. Terrorize goes out and allows them to retreat relatively cleanly. One dub, once again, will only lose their support.
That was pretty awkward. Awkward for Kasane. I don't think he expected them all to be there when he blinked up. But no harm, no foul, I guess. You get out with everybody else.
I still can't believe it's just only support deaths.
Is this giving a lot of time for Navi Jr. to scale, though? Right? Like, he finished Daedalus on that tiny, and then with all these damage ores going in, this is a scary lineup to play into. Like, you look at the tiny's right click when he's around the Venge, it's like plus 320. You add a Pack Leader to that, it's going to be close to plus 400. That is just absurd. Like, he's already critting for 1200. That's without all the buffs around him. Oh, he's getting amp damage too. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, this guy might be hitting close to 1,000 if he's around all the ores with the amp damage at 28 minutes. That's ridiculous. Like, you need some armor in this game if you're one dub. That's what you need. You need the Vlads, you need the AC, you need the Shivas, you need the Crimson. Like, you need any sort of physical defense you can get, because this physical damage is going to be insane out of this Navi Jr. lineup. And you currently don't have a lot. You kind of built for survivability through like Sanj and Yasha's and this Lincoln Sphere and stuff, which the BKBs on top of it give you a lot of survivability versus spells and control, but that's not really the kind of lineup Navi Jr. have.
Closing in on the mid tower. Navi Jr., are they willing to fight this? There's only 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so you probably could concede at least this tier 2. I doubt one dub is feeling bold enough to push into tier 3s.
Probably not. You got to find some sort of pickoffs or something. And now it feels like Navi Jr. are just pretty comfortable and confident scaling themselves up here and going late. Which I think was always a little bit of the game plan with this Magnus Venge. Pretty terrifying in the late game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Right into him. And just every once in a while, every 2 or 3 minutes, we get a support pick off. One dub are the better of it for when it comes to these objectives. They've taken more of the towers. They've gotten Roshan. They've gotten both Tormentors at this point in time. That is now a shard for Triple S, which is not an insignificant one, though they changed it. Slows Razor's target by 1x the amount of damage stolen while the link is active. So it actively is slowing down their movement speed over time rather than the pull it used to be. The pull was super obnoxious.
I think the pull's definitely better. The only situation where this is better is there were like rare cases where the pull kind of glitched you out. That was the annoying part about that. Like you got stuck on some cliff or tree and your hero just got kind of stuck because it was pulling everybody into this like unmovable spot. I hated that interaction. But outside of that, it was a really nice shard. It's just a little bit of a downgrade. Though I guess you get increased cast range, which is it's not too bad. Still, I think if you just look at like the net worth XP graph in this game,
I know
from minute 22 or so, that's an 8-minute period, Navi Jr. significantly outfarmed One Dub, and this is while One Dub had Aegis. So that's a worrying sign if you're One Dub here, because you're not building your lead, you're not outscaling them, and this Mag Venge are just slowly taking over the farm department.
I feel better. I feel better already.
I don't think you're winning late here either. That's the issue.
Well done. I got the juice denying the arcane rune. And Aegis is going to expire soon, so maybe we'll see a clash as the Aegis expires. Trying to push out that bottom lane. Does not get caught. Science. Quick blink away. Skewer out. Well done. Gets away from the 5-man of 1W that is about to take over the bottom lane.
You're gonna have to find ways to scale here if you're One Dub, because ending the game, not easy. You can't really find pickoffs or catcher on the map because your lineup's just not built to do it that well. And you're not getting armor items up. This is a little concerning for me, like watching the overall itemization. It's a lot of BKB, Lincoln Spheres, Sanjin Yasha, like items designed to kind of deal with the Doom. But this Doom is not, like, he doesn't need to win the fight through dooming someone and dealing a bunch of magic damage. He's gonna kill you through right clicks because everyone's gonna be hitting for so damn hard with Pack Leader plus Vengeance or a plus Empower. He's gonna get an AC as well. I think you're just gonna get exploded here. What?
Well,
I can't
Avery,
believe
how was
there's
your time in
no
the
AC.
Netherlands?
What? Is this game that slow?
Dude, it's 22 kills in 32 minutes, but it feels like it's 5 kills in 40. When was the last time we had a core kill? It was the top fight. It was the tier 2 fight. Other than that,
Yeah. It was Doom and Tiny at the 20-minute mark.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been some time, but it's all about the anticipation, right? The build-up towards the team fight that we know is eventually coming.
Yeah, but when is it coming, Avery?
Next Roshan, so in 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. I'll hold you to that. If Navi Jr. just give them another Roshan, you're the one to blame for that.
I think Navi Jr. can actually give it up because their high ground defense is so good.
Seriously, yeah.
The thing is, I still feel like One Dub are a little bit on a clock here. Like, they cannot go ultra late. I just refuse to believe they can win that scenario. Against RP Doom with triple damage, I just don't see it. They're pretty reliant on getting a good jump and a good sleep in the fight. And it feels like their window to win this game is the next 10 or 15 minutes off this next Roshan.
Level
I mean, this is why the
25
game's slow.
for Squadix.
Yeah, he's getting there.
One dub is going to be very strong if they can get this next Roshan. But will they be able to execute or stop the execution of Navi Jr. if they
I
go
don't know,
high
man.
ground?
This Tiny has Ags done on top of that Daedalus. This Ags hits so hard. Dude, he literally is hitting for over 1,000. Like, this is disgusting. You got another amp damage. What is this?
1,050 damage on a
What
regular hit.
Imagine he just gets a tree volley into them. I think the fight's over. It's literally just over.
Dire are scanning.
EMA. His smoke is going to pop first. Spots Squanix. Squanix with the blink backwards before he can get caught. They will reset up to the high ground area. One dub is going to wait and see if Navi Jr. push into them.
I have position for the Roche. That's why they're holding this area. Do not want to give it up right now. The Centaur will scout things out. Do not want to bite on that Centaur. Another
What's
smoke
Navi
coming through.
Jr.'s plan here? Because they do have to get in there. Because one dub could just do Roshan with pretty much like 2 heroes.
Got to get in there with a swap or a big RP and just lay the right clicks into them. Right? Get these heroes on top of the ranged ones and just slaughter them.
Smoke's gonna break. Spotted hero, spotting the SF. A good target to go for, but he got off the BKB. He's gonna try and get
He's
off
just dead.
but he got to him down. He is immediately killed. 3 cores are just gone instantly. Oh my god.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. What was the game plan here? I don't think you can win these fights. The damage is way too strong.
Tiny did 7,500 plus damage in the course of like 2 seconds.
I mean, look at the amps on this guy. It's absurd. Your SF is just dying in BKB channel. It's like, look at this tree volley, dude. Oh my god, it just hit on both of them. Disgusting. And what do you have to stop that? You have nothing to stop it. The Lifestealer has to bash it. I think this game is just over. I don't think you can win with the lack of armor, and you just missed your ability to snowball this game. And you've just got incredibly outscaled with this Magnus Venge.
Well, there's certainly a trend for this series, Avery, and it's one team having a better read of who scales better and just kind of farming up until they get to that point, and then the game's over.
Could definitely be a trend in high pressure qualifiers, because teams tend to play a bit sloppier. They can't snowball as well. The mid games get stalled out. High ground's scary.
Mankushi gonna be RP'd here. Good terrorize,
that's a big
though.
one.
Hits onto 3, a beautiful one. Triple S is now gonna activate his BKB and keep up with Niku, draining him of his damage. But he still died. PMA. He did so much damage, he was able to kill the Lifestealer. The Razor pushed out too far. He ends up going down as well. And now the game effectively is done. Back-to-back deaths for the Razor and Lifestealer means they know there's no buybacks here. Navi Jr. can take over the base.
Dude, that is like the saddest Razor drain I've ever seen. He got a full 200 damage link on Tiny, and the Tiny's still hitting him for like 500. Just so irrelevant. He's like, okay, you can drain me. I'm gonna smack you for 500 instead of 700 with my crit and my power. Good luck.
The Venge was doing 450 damage a hit and just right-click down the Lifestealer, so it was an extremely sad death for him as well.
It's completely outscaled there in terms of the damage department. Can't let teams get away with this type of strat and just farm up. Like, Doom complements it so well because he can bring pack leaders, but He also brings Doom, which means he can just anti-carry your one hope of maybe winning a fight, while the rest of his team is just bringing insane damage output. Yeah, I mean this game is toasted. Like, one dub are still in it, but I don't know how they win a fight. They have to get a incredible song, Requiem, and start on Navi Jr. That's the only way. If any sort of fight starts on them and they're just getting hit, the fight's over because the damage is way too
Overwhelming blink for the Doom. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis, so they got Megas, and now they can actually try and hit Throne while they still have this Aegis. And PMA is going to lead the way. They just can't stop this Venge. Daring you to initiate on him. Drop the banner with Megas pushing in. These tier 4s are dropping fast. One dub, you got to make something happen soon.
Yeah, he's just going. What's the answer?
Navi Jr. refusing to give them the opening for that big song Requiem. They're going to jump in now on the life stealer, but he got caught off the infest. Two-man terrorize goes out, and the Venge is going to die the first time. The Requiem goes out, and they take out the Doom as well. Extra lives, though, for Navi Jr. The Venge on the second life, almost dead, and Doom on the second life will back away a little bit here.
It's a buyback from the Venge. Not a bad team fight for one dub. They're able to initiate, get all their spells off. Unfortunately, now they don't have the Requiem. PMA on his third life here.
So even if they can with this fight, they might just lose.
Oh my!
Triple S is just getting right-clicked down by this Venge. The Venge is hitting the throne. Somebody stop this guy. They throw out the terrorize.
Oh my
Bye-bye. There goes the SF. Casually two-shot as Tiny hits him with a big 1200.
This is disgusting.
I mean, these guys are hitting 1,800 damage crit. Hey, look, every one of these heroes is doing 500 plus, if
Not just let it turn into a farm fest where this Mag Doom Tiny eventually outscale you again.
Yeah, it looks to me like a near impossible game for him to personally have a good game, right?
he can still enable success, but I just feel like the fact that you don't have anybody else to really show heroes for you means you're probably not getting blink calls. And as you said, even if you do get those blink calls, you're probably not solo killing heroes off of that blade mail and return damage. So
There's just a blink stun in this game, but you can have a good early game here potentially. Let's see what happens with this Shaman Undying. To me, that's like the real X factor. If Shaman Undying can help win the lanes and snowball some of the early fights, then this lineup can pop off, especially around a Puck who has gone ham for one dub before.
Another name in my grimoire.
late smokes, nobody being super aggro with it. No like 5-man move into the enemy jungle. Both teams just positioning for bounty rune steals.
The battle begins.
See who outputs the other. Steal managed to get the extra one here. And probably not going to die for it either because he's running down the river. He is so damn fast. 450 movement speed when he's running down river.
Nice little steal from him. You make these little cheeky plays with the mag, it adds up a lot. Got to find the little openings here. He gets the block, he gets a ward behind the tower. He can look for the courier snipes. Nice little setup for the Magnus here. Again, you're playing into this Undying lane, so you got to do all these little cheeky things to make it work. Do not want to play this lane straight up.
It's just been all these Undyings and then you see lane point shenanigans. Into the coast too, and flying out to so. Not the biggest fan of this meta setting itself. EMA is actually dying. Oh, that's just first blood from Unkushi. He tried to go forward for a single CS. Heavily punished. That is rough.
When I said this Centaur was going to have a rough time, I did not expect that rough of a time.
Yeah.
But this is basically a possible lane for him, and that's why I'm not sold on the pick, because I feel like when you last pick a hero and it's gonna have the roughest early game of anybody, it's kind of just like you messed up somewhere, I think.
where the Brewmaster can absolutely deal with the Drow Ranger better, right? At least some lane.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like we've seen people get out of the lanes with the Brew better than with the Centaur. Especially if you can get like some creep drags early, stuff like that. Also, the matchup's just better from behind. I feel like when you're behind with Centaur, you're kind of just a meat sack for the Frost arrows. Brew, at least you can ult and get on top of this guy, remove the precision aura or like the marksmanship, and then toss him in the air. You can toss this axe in the air. I was a bit more sold on the Brew this game, but of course Stampede can bail you out of tombstones and stuff, so there's some other benefits to having a Centaur that's a little sacrificial this game, but he is jungling. So they've given up the lane completely at the 2-minute mark.
I have never seen somebody try and pull a creep wave through the outer part of the map. Zion's tried to pull it up to the gate area. I have no idea what that was exactly, but it didn't work. They very easily just met the creep wave again. Niku is taking it to Squadix in the mid lane. He's doing a really good job of harassing this puck in the tiny matchup that is quite favorable for the tiny when it comes to the lane.
Well, this off lane has suffered early. I think that's pretty fair to say. It's going to be a very farm Drow Ranger here. I mean, he got first blood.
Oh, God.
Plus absolute free farm.
Is he dead again?
This does not look fun.
Yeah, Tombstone is just going to give him the one zombie to keep the vision, and actually, no. Mankushi gives up on it.
This is a fate worse than death, though.
Yeah. I mean, you're not even pulling.
Is...
Zayats doesn't even feel comfortable pulling. The lane is pushing forward, so Zayats kind of has to cover it now. Centaur's going to TP back all the way back to Fountain. He's not going to try and catch the creep wave under tower. He's going to leave that to Zayats. Zayats is the offlaner now.
Rough stuff, man. This is why I was not sold on this last pick. Like, I don't know what you were supposed to do in this lane with a 4 mag. You kind of have to respect what the mag gives you and also what it doesn't give you, and play for it. His Centaur is going to be incredibly sacrificial, put it mildly. For his flip side, Triple S, he's able to stay on this lane solo. Sweet and Strong getting some extra stacks up for him. This Axe could end up having a really good game here if he's able to keep CSing, get an early Vanguard, and then go back to stacks in the jungle. It's kind of ideal. Should be able to just creep cut here and pull him to camps. Like, Warlock is good at playing the lane straight up, not good at playing it when it gets disjointed like this, though. They'll get a little kill on the Shaman.
Yeah, that's nice.
Should have kept stacking there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's no real reason if Axe is going to be doing this backlaning stuff for him to do anything else, except for maybe occasionally show up and try and punish the Warlock if he gets too aggressive and hitting the Axe, but otherwise, I mean, the important thing is he gets back in time to stack again anyway, right? So
the best things you can do are stack, deny Water Rune from the Tiny, or go kill top. Honestly, playing with this Axe is irrelevant because you're not ever going to dive this Warlock Doom with Shadow Word, and you're just kind of irrelevant in this bottom lane. Like, I think the higher impact plays are screwing this Tiny mid, killing top, or like I said, you know, massive ancient stacks lane.
He's got phase boots on Got the Juice, so he's going to come back to try and put some pressure on Triple S here. So we'll see if they actually have the damage. His Vanguard is going to be flying out to him soon. Oh, nice idea. He just TP's out, and the Vanguard is now to him. So I think that same play happens with the Vanguard. I don't think you're getting the kill.
They brought Kasane down here. Interesting idea. Try and dive this Doom. This was the one area I did not think you wanted to put pressure on.
Finding into the
time for
Doom
the
is
Centaur
always
to cut
a
top.
little suspect. TP coming in from
Especially when he has help.
Yeah, and that is going to be Triple S, even with the Vanguard, with the extra help, that all this magic damage they have between the Doom and the Tiny easily brings him down. PMA Well, Sweet and Strong is set up on him. Oh, no, he didn't get the shackles immediately. He'll slow him down with a blood grenade. And now they'll catch up to him. But it's a little bit harder than it needed to be.
This is what I thought they were just going to do. Like, even if Axe can't enter this bottom lane, he can just go do the stacks. He can get a lot more off the map than the Centaur can in this early game.
Dire are scanning.
Gotta pick where you want to fight in this laning phase and make it count. Especially with this lineup on the side of 1Dub. Do not want to throw too many kills back Navi Jr.'s way. So I'll split the Wisdom Shrines. Man, this Drow's already level 6.5. That is pretty wild. You can start to pressure some towers or do early ancient stuff like that. Just get mega farmed. Gate the Doom and the Warlock top. They really want the Munkushi Drow up here. He just runs right into him.
Even better. It makes the kill a whole lot easier for them if they could just get on melee range of him immediately. Chase him down underneath the tower. TP's coming in. Definitely not going to help the situation, but maybe they can punish. With the coil going out, Sweet and Strong trying to get the position here to follow up some disables, but they don't really have the damage here. There's too many beefy boys. The puck can't do it alone. They don't have much else. Squadex, he's going to have to jump to his orb. Science is going to be here on the other side. He doesn't get hit by the shockwave, and as a result, he lives.
Man.
Now the tombstone's going to be dropped. They have to deal with the tombstone real quickly. Do manage to get that. Fatal Bond's out on some heroes here. Looks like they'll get the Undying off the situation, but what a dream it would have been if they could have killed the puck as well. Wait, Kazane? All right, Iku shows up to finish him off. But man, if they got the puck there, that would have been a massive win.
Kind of unlucky is like that the AoE on that shockwave just missed him. Zayas threw it a little too early.
Dire's top tower.
And a nice escape from Squad X as not a fight that was going
Radiant's
1Dub's way. They lose that top tower. Eventually we'll trade this bottom tower for it, but that was a big kill to land on this Drow. He was super high level. He was completely free farming. You had to put some kind of pressure in him. They eventually find their mark. Now they get to do some stacks as a little reward here. This early game is not looking too bad for Navi Jr., honestly. I thought it was going to be worse, but they found a couple little moves with the Magnus. They got some stacks up. Doom's pretty farmed. The Tiny's doing fine. You're going to close in on your support ulti soon here. The XP is better for their supports than for 1Dubs, which I thought was absolutely going to be the other way around with how much freedom this Undying had in the early game, but they did not find too many good moves or fights with the Tombstones.
And that's concerning, right? Because 1Dubs, I feel like their lineup needs to operate from a lead. If Navi Jr. starts getting ahead, their heroes start becoming a bit too tanky. You're not bursting heroes down as quickly with a Drow Ranger, and you're going to get stampeded and just rushed by a bunch of tanky boys.
You might also just get outscaled again, like we've seen in these first two games.
That's true.
Magnus, Doom can absolutely outscale you. Power Rune is bottom. Nice little pickup for Niku. Really need to kick this Doom out of here and take this tower. This bottom tier 1 has existed far too long in this game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they just keep on going back to the top lane. You can see even right now, Squadex is kind of moving up to see if the Drow needs some help, but he doesn't.
Radiant are scanning.
PMA might actually be in some trouble here. If Sweet and Strong can actually close this gap, they silence him. He sees that the Shadow Shaman's on his way, and he does manage to move ahead of him. Stampede over to the side, TP out. Is he far enough away? Looks like he's around the corner. Sweet and Strong won't be able to get the Hex in time. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Triple S being run down. Golem gonna be dropped. Go, yeah. All right, a Golem and a Doom, and they may not have even killed him. Now a Tombstone up on the high ground. They put himself into the dead end area. Got the juices saying, this is a terrible spot. What have we done, boys? I'm gonna TP out. Nico's still working with an Arcane Room, though. He's back against the wall. He just has to fight his way through this and try and get whatever kills he can. It's the Undying who eventually falls. Nico, maybe he gets the puck as well. Oh, the puck almost died to the Golem. He's still almost dead. Riddies might be able to get him. Oh, if he could just get Shadow Word on him. He drops a word, but Squadix is stuck, but he doesn't know he's stuck. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. That fight should have been so much worse for one dub. But just not a great place for Navi Jr. to fight, and they commit so many ults on this Axe who just walks it off. The skewer did not help their cause. Kind of pushed him out of the range of control while he was stunned by the golem. Very awkward exchange in terms of the spell casting. Still, you have this Midas Doom. It's some space for your Centaur. Like, it's not the worst outcome, to be honest, because you got some farm off the map, and it's not like one dub really got anything out of this. You know, they got a pickup kill, but that's kind of it.
It's so funny how them chasing into the got the juice to recognize. I mean, props to him. He recognized this was a terrible, terrible position we put ourselves in to chase down this Shadow Shaman. So he got a TP out before he could get caught by the coil. So props to him for that. And I mean, this Arcane Rune definitely did some work for the Tiny. He got a lot of damage out. If he could have killed the Puck as well. Another situation where Puck maybe should have died, came super close to it, but does manage to barely survive. Squadix keeping his is he still on a deathless streak on the Puck from yesterday?
No,
Right?
he died once in the second game, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But very close. I mean, this guy just does not die on this hero. Apparently. It's also not lost on it yet. This will be a true test for Navi Jr. if they can overcome the Squadix undefeated Puck, unkillable Puck.
Looking at Got the Juice right now. Hard kill with just two of them. They're going to try. Oh no, the Stampede out of the Serpent Ward range. He trying to drop the wards and go for the Shackles, but the Stampede, just a little bit extra movement speed, got him outside of the Shackles range.
That was not the execution you needed on that play. Gotta
Now-
think about Stampede in these scenarios.
Doom's forever in his flailing mode now.
He's chilling, man. Look at him go.
That's the swaggiest way to get CS I've ever seen. He's like literally dancing on him the entire time. Radiance is done for him. The safe lane tower is still up, but I believe one dub will finally get it.
Long overdue here.
And it's also long overdue. Triple S's farm is doing well. He's got his blade mail, but it's still going to be a ways till Blink. Meanwhile, PMA, because he doesn't go Vanguard, right? He just goes blade mail straight into Blink. He's going to have that. So the options for Navi Jr. are a lot more broad. They have a lot of different ways to be able to start fights. One dub going to be pretty reliant on Triple S farming up their Blink. Otherwise, initiation is not the best for them.
Yeah, they needed to go here. He's very farmed, so he should have it pretty fast here. Chip Vest, definitely a big boon to that hero in the early game. Zayats on a sentry. No play option there. No one was around anyway. Does have the blink available, though. A lot faster than the previous game. Having a much better time at it. 0 deaths will help you get there pretty quickly. It's about the time in the game where you expect things to pick up a little bit. I mean, probably for both teams, but particularly for one dub, if this blink comes out on the Axe, they can start looking for aggressive fights. Go for the blink call into, Tombstone drop, Hex, follow up, Drow Ranger in a good position. Try and set the aggressive formation up at the start of the fight, and then make sure you check the Magnus and the Tiny Blinkins, which you can do with the Shaman and the Puck. Not impossible here. It's also a big factor that could be different than the previous game. Like, can you look as aggressively as Zayats in these fights into the Sweden Strong Shaman? You blink in, go for these skewers, you get Hex. That fight looks pretty bad.
Sure. Yeah. All right, now Zayats is just chilling with his boys. Empowering up Got the Juice and Niku. They're very efficiently farming their way through jungles. Got the Juice. He grabbed his Radiance. Now he picks up his Midas again. I don't know. I don't feel great about one dub's positioning in this game. Because they do get outscaled, right? Like, sure, it's a Drow Ranger pretty much trying to do all the heavy lifting late game damage wise. Maybe the Puck can do some of that, but I do feel like Navi Juniors, the rest of their lineup, they kind of all scale up throughout the game.
I don't think it's as one-sided as last game. I mean, Magnus Doom is always going to be scary in the late, but I think Puck Drow is also... It's like pretty annoying to go late game against, especially if you have heroes that can just go in first, like Undying Axe. Like, I think their lineup is pretty strong together.
RP thrown down on Sweden Strong, got the juice, is going to be freed of the shackles and will be able to make a run for it. Triple S is going to be on the other side though. Got him to slow down quickly, called. Zayats does manage to blink out, so is he still going to be okay? Triple S is so damn fast, man. He caught up to him with the battle hunker. He's just going to run him down. He's got the call. He doesn't have the blade mail, but just one spin should do it. And another culling blade kill for Triple S. That worked out way better than I expected.
Man, what an entrance into this game for the Axe. His blink's flying out right now. He's level 14 off that series of events, almost top net worth. He is owning, and he's going to be massive this game. A little extra coat of blood armor can go a long way in this game as well. I feel like this 20-30 minute period is one dubs to take over. Like, this is where they have to make this lineup shine. Get a couple team fights, get a Roshan, Tormentor, or whatever it is. Like, they have the fighting advantage right now because this Centaur is not going to offer you a lot. This Tiny is like a blink combo, but that's kind of it. There's a lot more team fight presence from this one dub lineup at this point in the game, in my opinion at least. Pipe on the Centaur definitely helps, but you can still fight through this.
Aghanim Scepter almost done for Monkushi, so I mean, we'll start getting some serious damage out of this Drow Ranger. Navi Jr. continue their assault on buildings. Niku takes the bottom one. Now they're looking at mid. Did some good D-warding, took away the triangle ward. Now they have this ward in mid right now. It is spotted though. Very early sentry. That was just about to expire. Spots and gets that ward. Smoke up from Navi Jr. moving through the top side of the map. They're going to look really deep. They're going to look on the corner creep camp, which is smart to find the Drow Ranger. They would be wrong about that. Drow Ranger is actually farther to the left, farming up the ancient camp. May still get there in time. Monkushi stuck around for the next respawn. And Zayats has his opportunity here. The smoke's going to break, but he doesn't know where the Drow Ranger is, and he blinks the wrong direction. Drow successfully TPs out.
What a clutch TP. Just reading the situation. Saves him a big death. Will get him to his Ags here. Dodging a very big committal on that smoke gank. Took a lot of time to look for that play. Tormentor spawning in 30 seconds if you want to try and make a move for it with this Drow Eggs plus how fat your axe is. And it's really only the Doom for Navi Jr. that's posing a big threat. BKB plus Radiance done, forgot the juice. That is formidable, but he does not have the armor yet. So he can get chunked down in like an axe call plus a multi-shot. Smoke should come out here. They drop the ward on mid and then smoke. I kind of like this actually. You're going to get this tower guaranteed, and then you can still look for the play after this tower opens up. You're not going to be in time for the Tormentor contest. It's the sad part here.
They have the scan on it. Maybe they can catch some heroes of Navi Jr. as they make their way back, right? Somebody's going to TP out, then somebody's going to farm up the camps to the right, then somebody's probably going to back down through the lane. And 1W might be able to find that pickoff. But if it's just the Warlock, a lot of time investment for not a big kill. But if they can get the Doom, Triple S runs into got the juice, got him on the call. And that is a much bigger kill. The carry gone. Doesn't even bother popping the BKB. He knows he's gotten just a bad situation. TP gets canceled like that. There's no way out. And they keep going, and they're going to find a Centaur as well. Oh, PMA not respecting the fact they can come through the gate like that. The two supports and the axe. 1W. This is pretty massive. I mean, PMA. Nico's going to sit on the side here. Quick execution as he goes to the Shadow Shaman to stop the follow up. And now the RP on top of that one. What a turn! Kasane fighting for a kill on a PMA will not be able to get it.
What a pickup there. Just getting aided on this tanky Centaur boy. Not a real damage threat, but he can screw over your positioning when you overcommit. And the real downside for one dub is they're making that play without the 2 big damage sources, the Puck and the Drow, not there. It's way slower because of that. Pay a big price of that overcommittal. Just as you were starting to snowball this game, right? You got a couple clutch pickoffs with this axe. This looks like you're going to get another easy one. Not so easy. You just run out of disables, and here you have to make a decision. Do you continue the chase with the battle hunger, or do you back and not keeping track of where this tiny is? Niku, big time punish on the clump.
Yeah, pretty sick stuff. Spoke up the haste or squatting with the next fight.
They want to keep looking for the action. Again, this is their time to make this lineup shine. Can't just sit back and farm. Got to keep looking for plays. Got to keep trying to hunt the big cores on around the map. If you don't find anything, then you should be able to take objectives with Shaman Undying here. You can always drop wards in the pit and just force the action. They're just backing up. I don't like this. I think should have just either stayed in the area, look for some deep ward placements, or be confident enough to force the Roche, or at least like fake force it. Manning up in the pit is pretty terrifying against this lineup, but you can at least make Navi Jr. respond to you and get the fight that way. Now you have to dodge this smoke. This is tough smoke to dodge, especially if Munkushi shows on this ward in the top corner.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's an easy target to run at.
Back to that same
Will he
corner they went
sense this one?
before.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He looks screwed to me.
Dire's middle
This
tower
time they'll find the Drow Rangers. That's enough.
Another big smoke committal, but they find their mark. Shaman Ward is taking this top tier too. This thing has done some serious building damage this game. Should get it here, no defense. Some map control. Making up for this Drow death at least. As Parasma done for the Puck. We saw the BKB finish for the Axe.
Dire's middle tower is under
Big fighting items coming in for one dub still. Still have a decent chance to win these fights right now.
Another name.
Yeah, that is not the jump you want to make here with the Shaman. Pretty scary to go on anybody in this game because you just don't see a lot of heroes on the map from this Navi Junior lineup, and there's a lot of turnaround potential, especially with Stampede to get people in quickly. Very hard for Sweden Strong to jump and look for plays on his own.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Gonna drop wards for another tower or what? 10 seconds. This feels like how most of the game is gone. It's just like one dub dropping ward to take random towers and there's no fight. Yeah, there it is.
There it goes. Good result.
It's about the Drow Ranger, though. Oh, they're going to chase after. Ooh, okay. I mean, that was tempting to pop Stampede and really run at him, but he did have Hurricane Pike, so it wouldn't work. Good restraint, I guess, from the DMA.
Radiant's
Let's see where
bottom
one
tower
dub want to
is
go.
under
They're smoked up going through the gate. This is their fastest way to the Roche pit, which went top. And Navi Jr., they're going to try and man up and do this quickly. This is not the fastest Roche. If you get called in this pit, it's going to be absolutely disgusting. Do one dub sense what's going on right now? Oh man, you're so clumped.
They're going to get ahead. The orb comes through the pit. And do not get jumped by the puck. So they're going to back out of the pit now.
Smoke immediately going to break. They run into the Undying. They got the jump on
Oh, they got
axe
the
at the
axe.
same time. He jumped into the stomp. What a bad timing for him. He gets RP to make sure there's no escape. 2 quick kills. And now 1W have to decide they're going to continue to try and harass them while they finish up Roshan. Nope, they back up. It waits.
Blinks straight into Avalanche, gets golemed. That is the difference between popping BKB before or after that blink. Decides that fight. Navi Jr., they get a huge team fight win. They're going to get a little extra cleanup here as well. What a massive victory for them. And it was the bold play that pays off, right? Like, they just go for the Roche. They man up. They do it. They bring one dub to them, and then they take the fight. I think this is the type of play that one dub could have done when that Roche was on the bottom half of the map. But they were a little too skittish to make the play. And honestly, if this axe call goes off, we could be looking at a very different fight. But the positioning is just not really there from one dub. The vision's not really there. It's an awkward place with the Undying breaking the smoke. No tombstone goes down. A lot of things made that pretty awkward as the aggression from Navi Jr. pays off here.
1W is still going to look for a fight, though. They might catch Navi Jr. slipping a little bit. The confidence of the Aegis. You don't want to run into the Doom, obviously. He spots Undying. Got the juice, starts activating, but they hit the back line at the same time. The puck, quick kill onto the Magnus. They do get jumped by the Tiny, though. Once again, Triple S. He doesn't have the BKB. He now gets it off. It just came off cooldown. Coil on 2 as the Stampede goes out. That'll hold them back and keep the Axe alive.
Oh, nice little pick and run. Get your axe kill, you get the hell out, you get some more armor. Slow down this Aegis period. Try and get to BKB on the Drow. That's the name of the game right now. More farm on the puck as well. Take that. 3 minutes on the Aegis here. If you want to keep looking for some aggressive fights.
It just got the level 20, so big upgrade on that Infernal Blade damage. Miku with an amp damage. He's walking into a ward right now and sees the ward, so he immediately blinks away. Realizing you could be stumbling into a trap, which the Shadow Shaman, I think, was willing to take the risk there on that kill, so good call.
Still a very even game overall. Let's just see how good of the Navi Jr. skill, how good it turns out to be here. Because they're kind of playing a similar style, right? Like, slowly grind this game out, look for the later Roshans, believe in your late game. Magnus, round 3 here for them. See if it can deliver another victory. As this game goes later, they're setting up on the Aegis Doom.
They're gonna catch him.
It's a tough target.
Oh, but the turnaround golem actually hits on it too. There's the call from Triple S. And got the juice with the BKB. Is just going to take the Shadow Shaman kill. Now the Drow Ranger comes in, but it's a bad position. It's okay, he's just going to get doomed. Baby run down with the Stampede slowed down there. They try and pull the Doom off of him, and Dying Tombstone goes out, but the Drow Ranger is still stuck in the same situation when she pops out. She is doomed.
Way too aggressive on the position. And this Doom is not the guy you want to go on. Like, he is so tanky there. Again, this is not a hero the Axe can call and deal a lot of damage to, particularly in the BKB. With Warlock backup. Very awkward go here from 1W. I'm surprised they picked that as their moment to try and do something, because this guy's 3,500 HP with an Aegis. What is your damage to bring him down before the turnaround comes in? Especially without the Drow BKB.
Yes. Oh, I mean, especially without the Drow Ranger there from the get-go, right? If you're going to make the play on that guy, you probably have to make it super fast and throw all your damage at once. And TPing in as the initiation is going in is probably not going to cut it.
Way too disconnected there. And the scale is starting to pick up here for Navi Jr. Gotta remember, this is an empowered Tiny again. with the pack leader aura. It's a very similar lineup to last game. You're missing the Venge, but you still have the other sources of the damage buff. This Tiny is going to hit like a truck again.
Dire are scanning.
You have to find a way to jump this Tiny and bring him down. He's way too big of a damage threat with this type of lineup. Aegis expires though, so no high ground or anything crazy like that. But this is a lot of farming time for Navi Jr. A lot of farming time. And if you get to AC on the Doom here, I feel like we're in similar territory as last game in terms of the critical damage. Like, you're really putting a lot into this one dub lineup that had some survivability in the early game, but is not going to have it in this late game. Which means you're going to have to get the jump and take massive advantage of that jump. Another Tormentor going Navi Jr.'s way as well. I feel like they've just won all the Tormentors in this series.
Radiant are scanning.
This is an aggressive smoke.
Doing
Oh,
it without the
that's cool.
Centaur. They're going to run into the Tiny. Instant disable on him with the call follow-up. But Zayas gets a skewer right into the middle of them with an RP on 2. Now the Drow Ranger is dead. Who needs the Centaur, I guess? Damn.
What an awkward place to make that move, right? Like, you don't have vision up here. You're kind of just going in blind. You're going up a ramp into some awkward tree lines after the Tormentor got killed. Maybe you're hoping you catch them off guard, but you did not. You just run face first into all the AoE.
Dire's top
Drow did nothing there. Man, this game just became so difficult so fast because you did not snowball in that mid game. And I feel like a broken record at this point, but I just don't know why teams want to play against this Doom. Like, every game you play against this hero feels so hard. This hero owns. Even if you beat him, it's sludging uphill.
Yeah.
There's another
that's a good
game
way
where
to
Doom is
describe
just...
it.
The Doom is just owning. Like, he's just owning. He's insanely tanky. He's very hard to kill. He does a crap ton of damage. Always has Doom to just throw on anybody. It's a ridiculous hero, man. And I do feel like some teams are just disrespecting it a little bit. Probably one good fight left for one dub at this point. If you lose a fight near your base, this game is just going to end. Look at this base ward too. No D ward on this. They see it. Yeah, that's a big skewer threat. That's why they're afraid to kill that one. Well, Roche can spawn next 3 minutes here. In fact, it instant spawns. Wow. All right. I mean, that's pretty nice for Navi Jr. here if they go scout it. I feel like a lot of teams don't scout it right at the start because you just don't assume it's going to insta spawn. But you get an early Aegis here, you can just go high ground with it. Your position right now is pretty dominant. 21k lead.
At the same time, doesn't matter if it's early Roshan or late Roshan. I feel like Navi Jr. is guaranteed to take it either way, and I don't think this game gets better for 1W as it goes on. I mean, maybe we could get super late and Puck and Drow start popping off. They're gonna need something big, but Science finds something bigger. An RP
Oh
on
my
3
God.
with the Niku. He just throws the whole kit and caboodle at him.
That is absolute decimation. That might just be the game. Like, it was already getting really difficult, but that is just the nail in the coffin here. 3-man RP, including the Puck, losing the gem. triple stun off of RP into stomp into avalanche with a tree toss does not get much smoother than that. And I mean, that's your Roche fight.
Zayas. He can't do anything by himself. He can try skewer out. Oh, he got gusted. Monkushi will get this kill. TP's out. But ultimately, the bigger prize is Aegis forgot the juice.
Aegis plus banner, you can go high ground. This Doom's almost level 25 already. You just can't jump anybody in this game. The turnaround potential is way too high. And we see Axe on the back of that fight. Like, he got clipped by some of the AoE there. Can't even counter jump. Even if he does, I don't think it bails you out of that situation. That fight's just over.
Again, the pickoffs here and there, but you can't get away from Navi Jr. They get the kill on Radius, but immediately the two cores come out for the punish with the harpoon. They kill Kasane. Chase after Sweden Strong. Stampede up in 4 seconds. If they want to try and close that gap, maybe they don't need to. Catch him trying to TP out underneath the neutral creeps.
So much damage in this lineup. It is absurd. I will say this Doom Tiny combination's pretty nice. You just have so much scale between the two cores. You have so much HP as well.
Dire's middle tower.
Say goodbye to your base. Tiny hit for 600 again. Very easy. Still have Aegis for 3 minutes here. Just march down the last lane. What are you going to do about it?
Dire are scanning.
I feel like you'd rather fight a little outside your base if you can catch Navi Jr. off guard and like flank them or something. You're gonna need some ridiculous axe call into tombstone drop, because if the fight starts on you, you're just dead. It's overwhelming damage now.
That's why these smokes are oh so dangerous. 5-man smoke up from Navi Jr. pushing up through the top lane. And it breaks. He spot supports. Get the skewer back on the who doesn't even make the end of skewer. Now the stomp. It hits onto Monkushi. Monkushi's trying to back away. He does so much damage to himself. And now he's just getting run down by Got the Juice. Draw Ranger dead. They can play for buybacks here. They are all in. They have to get something amazing out of these buybacks. These coil underneath tier 4s, but these heroes just aren't dying easily. They're so damn tanky, man. Monkushi can hardly do any damage. He's just poking at them. It does nothing.
Oh, nice call.
It was a beautiful call. Managed to take down the Aegis for one, but half HP on PMA, a full HP Niku, a full HP Got the Juice, and Zayas is still waiting in the wings here with his RP.
Yeah, just secure the megas here. Don't mess around. One dub on their last legs.
Got the initiation, the call, counter. It's not good enough. The Drown Ranger's already dead, so doesn't matter if you hit a 3-man call. GG, and Navi Jr. will do it for a 3rd time in a row. They will take down 1W, once again pulling off the 2-1.